Bonjour, monsieur, dame. We have just recently returned home from a 2-week visit to France, and we haven't been since May, so that's a long time for us. But I thought it would be fun to show you the kinds of things that we like to bring back from our trips. So I'm going to start by showing you the food, and then I'll show you the souvenirs that we got from the places that we visited, and then I'll finish up by showing you what we got in Disneyland Paris. And I also have a video tour of the new Davy Crockett cabins that they just refurbished that we stayed at Disneyland Paris. It was our first time staying on property. So if you'd like to check that out, that's linked in the description. So to start with the food. Now, none of this food is healthy. It's just tasty and they're really good little treats. So our favorite brand of little snacks, and they make cookies and cakes and jams and things like that, is this Bun Mama brand. You're probably familiar with their jam, and we did buy some of that. I'll show that in a minute. But I really love all of their little cakes and cookies. And these are some brand new little blueberry mini muffins that are just like those, those little bites muffins that are so good over here. So I figure that these are going to taste even better than the ones here. So I haven't tried them yet, but I'm excited to try them. I just got one bag. Now I got a lot more of these next two things. So the first are these small cakes with fruit. And then I also got these blueberry filled Madeleines. So to start with the little cakes, each bag has 10 of these little cakes, and they're a nice, they're just a yellow cake, and they have dried fruits in them. So it has raisins, candied oranges, dried cranberries. They don't have any nuts, although it does warn that there may be traces of nuts. I just think these are really good. I like to eat these for breakfast with some yogurt, and they last for a while. So I bought, I think, 3 bags of these. And then I got 4 bags of the little blueberry filled Madeleines. And a lot of times I find Madeleines to be kind of dry, but these with the fruit jam inside are really good. They're not dry at all, and these are just so good. So I bought 4 bags of them, and there's only 10 in a bag. So there's a lot of empty space in a bag. So what I do is I open up a bag and then combine the bags to fill it up. And so if you're wondering, how do I bring stuff like this home in my checked suitcase without it getting crushed? Let me show you. I like to buy these uh, sturdy cardboard boxes that you see at Home Goods and TJ Maxx is where I buy them. And like this one was $10, and they fit perfectly in the suitcase. And so I will put 2 of these on one side of a suitcase, and then in another suitcase we just use one and then fill up the rest of it with packing cubes so it doesn't move around. And so I put uh, things inside these boxes that I don't want to get crushed, but I still want to have in my check bag. So I'll even put like we have a European extension cord that we put in here. I put all of the soft cakes in here, and I've never had a problem with them getting crushed. So I highly recommend these for putting in your suitcase for things that you just don't want to get smushed. Now, also from the Bun Mama brand, we got these little filled cookies, and they are filled with a hazelnut chocolate spread, so it's like Nutella, but they're a crispy cookie with the chocolate filling. So these are really good. We just got 1 pack of these. We bought a few boxes of these little cookies that this is just a generic brand from Carrefour. But there is another, the name brand is a brand called Pim's, and they come in several different flavors. My favorite is the cherry, and the flavor is the jam. It's like a gelatin type substance inside, and they make them in cherry, apple, pear, raspberry, orange, lemon. They make a lot of different flavors. They're really popular, but they're really good. They have this sort of white chocolate coating on top, and then the jam, and then the gelatin inside, and then it's on like a softer baked cookie that's on more like a cake than like a crunchy cookie. And these are really good. So we got some of those. And we got some of the Saint Michel brand, which you will sometimes find this brand at home, but it's obviously a lot cheaper to get them in France. And these are the chocolate and caramel galettes. So it's in a crunchy butter cookie is on the outside, and then on the inside, and then on top, it's got a sort of a chew, well, like between a runny and a chewy caramel. It's it's really good. And then a milk chocolate on top. Again, they're terrible for you, but they're just a nice little treat. So we like to bring cookies for people as gifts. And this is a favorite brand that I like. This brand you'll see in the grocery stores, and they do a lot of French regional specialties. And so here we have several different types of cookies. I'll go through them with you. Here we have the Galette Bretonne, and that refers to Brittany, which is in the northwest tip of France. And they're famous for they are famous for crepes and for these butter cookies. Normandy is also famous for butter cookies. I have some of them too. And this is advertising that the butter and the flour are from France. And so this is just a really tasty little crispy butter cookie. And then we have two other types of galette bretonne that are made out of buckwheat flour, and that's what sarrasin is. That's their word for buckwheat flour. And now these are not gluten-free, just so you know. It's just they are made with buckwheat flour and regular flour. And so this first one has little chocolate chips in it, and then this one is just the classic cookie made with buckwheat. So we've never tried these before, but we got some of those. And now we have the Sablé Normand, which is a butter cookie from Normandy, which is right next to Brittany in northern France. And these cookies are a little bit bigger, but they're still thin, crispy butter cookies. And it's advertising that the flour, butter, and the sugar are all from France. And then we have two more types of sablés, and both of these are my favorites. First, we have the sablés with little caramelized apple pieces in them. So good. And then the sablés au caramel that have little pieces of caramel in them. And again, these are just delicious. I have never found cookies in America that are as good as these butter cookies. They really taste like butter. They're nice and crispy, and they're just delicious, and they're really popular for us to bring as gifts. And I just throw these boxes inside one of the check suitcases, and they're fine. So Jim likes to buy tea, herbal tea, over there because he just likes the different flavors that they have. And he likes to enjoy an herbal tea at work because he tries to avoid caffeine. He drinks his one coffee a day. So this is an herbal tea, and it is peach and blackcurrant flavor, and blackcurrant is a very hard flavor to find in the US. And from a different brand, he has a ginger and lemon herbal tea. And this is one of his favorite tea brands, and it's a French brand called the Two Marmots, and I think their packaging is just adorable. And this is a tea that's their special blend, and it has verbena and orange flower, and so it's a nice citrus tea. And so he usually buys 3 or 4 boxes of tea every time we go. Now we have the jam that I was talking about. So this is the Bonne Maman Mirabelle Plum Jam, which is a golden plum, and it's from the Lorraine region of eastern France. And they used to sell this in America, but I haven't seen it in a few years now. So when we go over there, we buy a few jars of this, and it's so good. You don't really see plum jam very much anyway, but these golden plums they're very sweet, and they have almost a caramel taste to them. And we just really like this. So how we brought these home is we wrapped the jar in a bunch of layers of plastic wrap, and then put it in one of the check bags wrapped in a sheet so that they wouldn't knock together, and they all came home fine. Now, probably the strangest food that we brought back is some sauce. Okay, so why did we bring back? Actually, we brought 4 bottles of sauce. We got 2 of the Hannibal one. That's our favorite. So why do we bring back these giant bottles of sauce? Well, in Europe, they really like sauces on their burgers and on their fries. And they have a whole bunch of different sauces that I've never seen over here. So our favorite, and we got 2 bottles of this, is called Hannibal sauce. And the way that they describe it is a cold sauce with roasted onions. So it actually has little chopped up roasted onions in it. And it's more of a mayonnaise-y, creamy based sauce, but it is so good on burgers and on your fries. And we actually will put a little bit of it in a cup and take it to Five Guys and put it on our burgers and fries there because it's so good. And then these other two sauces that we got, this Algerienne, they describe it as being the same but a little spicier than the Hannibal sauce. So it is similar, but it is a little spicier. And then the samurai sauce, I think maybe Jim has tried it, but I have not. But it's a little bit spicier red pepper sauce. So we like to bring back sauce. So these are just factory sealed. They have a seal under this. Well, they're factory sealed, so we didn't open them. So we just put them in the suitcase in the check bag. And again, no problems at all. So I think that does it for the food. Let's go into some of the souvenirs. But first off, I got this shirt that I'm wearing. I got it at a little clothing store in Sarlat in the Dordogne. And it's just one of our favorite places to go. We try to go every year, sometimes twice a year. And it's just this beautiful medieval town that's a shopping district and it has all kinds of restaurants and places to stay. And so we go there several times anytime that we are staying in the area. And so I got this shirt, and then I also got another one just like it in a light green colored, and it's very comfortable. And it was only like 22 euros or so, very inexpensive. And I also got this necklace. Now, this necklace is mother of pearl, and it's white on one side and the black mother of pearl on the other. And it's made by, I got it from a little shop in a small town called Saint-Léon-sur-Vézère, and it's called Piccoli. And it's made by an artisan who makes jewelry and other art objects out of natural materials like antlers. And I have a couple of his other pieces. I have a ring made of Siberian mammoth ivory, and I also have a necklace also made of Siberian mammoth ivory. And it's that blue color from the minerals that it picked up from being in the mud for tens of thousands of years. So I really like their jewelry. This necklace has some wheat flowers engraved in it on both sides, and I just really like their jewelry. So I highly recommend checking out their shop if you're ever in the area. Now, for the souvenirs of places we went. So we got these t-shirts from one of our favorite caves, and this is Roofing Nat Cave, and this is actually the cave that my tattoos come from, and Jim has a tattoo of one of them too. And they had these t-shirts on sale for only 15 euros, so we each got one, and it has some of the artwork from what's called the Great Ceiling in the cave. And you visit this cave, you ride a little electric train because the drawings are so deep inside the cave. And it's just one of our favorite caves. It's really beautiful. So we each got a shirt. And then I already have it in my background. There's one of the rhinos, and it's actually the one that's I have a tattoo of this rhino on my arm. And so they have some of the drawings painted on these little rocks, and it's a souvenir that you can get there. And you can see in my background a lot of things that we bought in our previous trips to France. Anything Paleolithic that you see behind me is from France. This little mammoth, this Scrooge, and this Cheshire Cat are from Disneyland Paris. So we like to buy souvenirs when we go. So I like to collect keychains from places that we go, and I hang them on little hooks. And this is one from Ruffingnac, which is another one of the compositions of the mammoth, of a lot of mammoths on one of the walls. And so this is just a nice lightweight wooden keychain. Now the next cave that we visited on this trip is our favorite, and it's Peshmerl, and it's the one with the famous spotted horses. And on a previous trip, I got this tapestry of the spotted horse panel, which is probably around 35,000 years old. But it's just our favorite cave, and I've already bought most of the things they sell in the gift shop, but when I see something new, I like to get it. So I also collect refrigerator magnets, and I just have them all over our fridge. And this year is the 100th anniversary of them starting to give tours in the cave. I think it was 2022 was the 100th anniversary of them finding the cave, so they had some anniversary merchandise for that. But this year they're celebrating 100 years of the tours, and so this magnet has one of the mammoth paintings that's in the cave, and Jim has a tattoo of this mammoth on his arm. And then I got a leather keychain that has the spotted horses and Peshmeral embossed in it, because I like a lightweight keychain for my keys, and we got a new car, and so I need a keychain for that. And we got another keychain and a coffee cup from another place that we visited. It's called La Roque Saint Christophe, and it is a rock cliff dwelling that people have lived there all the way back from Neanderthals, and then anatomically modern humans in the Upper Paleolithic lived there, and then people just kept living there in the Neolithic period all the way through the medieval period. And it's a place that we really like to visit. It has beautiful views, and they also have these medieval machines that Jim really loves. So they have several different types of cranes showing you how they would lift things up onto these cliffs back then. And they have these modern recreations of the medieval machinery that actually do work. And so Jim thinks they're fascinating. And so they have this coffee cup that has 3 of the machines on it. And then he also needed a new keychain. So they had this lightweight keychain with the medieval tread wheel crane. And then on the back, it has the name La Roque Saint Christophe. I got another magnet from a small town that we'd never been to before called Beaulieu-sur-Dordogne. And it's one of the Plus Beaux Villages, which is it's like a tourism marketing organization, that there's all these beautiful little towns in France, and it's just to promote tourism. They usually have some beautiful churches, beautiful old buildings, and a lot of artisan shops. So we like to visit those, and I got this nice wooden magnet as a souvenir of their medieval church. And then from Sarlat, I got some of these nice vinyl stickers, and I like to put these on my suitcase. I like to put stickers on every surface of the suitcase so that no matter which way it comes down the baggage belt, I can see that it's mine instantly, and that's really helpful, so I recommend that. But I do recommend that you don't just stick it on the suitcase, because it won't stay very well. I use super glue. I put it on the back of the sticker and then put it on the suitcase, and that helps them stay on much better. I also got a set of 4 plastic placemats and coasters. These placemats are really popular over there. You see them in most gift shops and even at the rest stops on the highways. So I wanted some for our table at home, and I really like these. They have pictures of a lot of our favorite places in the Dordogne region, and like there's Sarlat right in the middle. Périgueux is the capital of the Dordogne. These 2 on either side here, Baynac and Chateau de Castelnaude, they're actually on opposite sides of the Dordogne River from each other, and they were on opposite sides during the 100 Years' War. And so I got 4 placemats and 4 coasters for only €9, and that was about the cheapest that I saw these anywhere. So I picked up a set of these. Now, another one of our favorite Plus Beaux Villages to visit is called Saint-Cirq-la-Popie. And so I bought this really nice metal sign. I just need to find a wall to put it on. And so this is what the town really looks like. It's striking, the way that these buildings are just perched on this cliff, and the views are amazing. And it's one of our favorite places to visit. There are some cute little stores and some really good restaurants. And so from the same store that I got that metal sign, I also got some drawer pulls. because we recently redid our closet with an IKEA closet system, and I love it. But the drawers, I needed some drawer pulls for them, but I didn't know what I wanted. So this cute little store had these really pretty drawer pulls, and I think I'm going to use this one on a door that's in the closet. And then these have these really pretty colorful songbirds on the drawer pulls. So I like to buy things like this that are the kinds of things that I don't usually see at home, and then they're a nice souvenir for your trip. Every time I use the drawers in the closet, I'll be reminded of that little shop in Saint-Cirque. And finally, for the souvenirs, I bought a few books. At another one of those Plus Beau Village called Domme, Domme, they have a really nice used bookstore. And I found this book called Searching for the First Builders. And it's about how the Neolithic structures were built in France. And this book is in French, but I should be okay reading it. And it's actually pretty hard to find books in English about the Neolithic period, so I'm looking forward to reading this. And then at the beginning of our trip, we went to some World War I sites in northern France around Verdun. And so at the museum at Douaumont, which has an ossuary that has the remains of 130,000 men that were killed in just the Battle of Verdun at World War I. And so that's a memorial that we like to visit. There's also a museum right next to it, and they have a nice bookstore. And so I got a couple books. So I got this book of 800 World War I museums and sites in Europe. So I was really excited for this. And it's in French and English, but mostly French. And it's got some maps and information about different different forts and museums. So this book is just going to be really useful for me as I look for new World War I sites to visit. And then the second book that I got is a book of actual photographs from Verdun, and I'm always interested in things like this. And so these are very high quality photographs, and they're all in black and white, and it's just showing just what life was like during the Battle of Verdun. So that's the end of the souvenirs for every place but Disneyland Paris. So let me show you what I got there. First off, the first thing I bought was a Junior Woodchuck guidebook that they had at the gift shop at the Davy Crockett Ranch where we stayed. And so they're not called Junior Woodchucks in French. This whole book is in French, by the way. But they're called Castors Junior. And castor is their word for a beaver, which is probably their closest thing to a woodchuck. Although I guess maybe a marmot is probably closer to a woodchuck than a beaver is. But anyway, that's what they call them in this book. And so it's just this really cute book with all kinds of information. It's almost like a real little scout's guide about how to make fire and how to cook. And it's got these cute drawings in it. And this book just has a real vintage feel, like it feels like something from the 60s or 70s. And it's really cute. So of course I had to get it. So just a few days before our trip, they opened Disney Adventure World. Walt Disney Studios Park is no more. It's now called Disney Adventure World, not to be confused with Walt Disney World. But anyway, so they just opened the new Frozen expansion to Disney Adventure World, and they're working on the Lion King expansion, but the Frozen expansion is open and ready. It was really crowded. We just walked around. We didn't ride the one ride that they put in there. But Jim got this ball cap because he likes to get hats from different parks that we visit. And it's a very well-made hat, and it looks pretty. He likes to wear hats that are different from the park that he's visiting, so he'll wear this one at like Disney World. They were also giving away these cardboard picture frames if you spent over $30 in a store, so we got one of these. So at Disneyland Paris, they don't give you a bag when you buy anything. You have to buy these reusable bags, and they have them in 3 sizes. This is the small, the medium, and then they have a larger one. So I got this small one for Disney Adventure World. And I think the small one was 250 euros. And so that's cute. It's a coated bag. It's very nice quality. So I like to use these as tote bags when I go to the parks. And then I had to get this little bit larger bag. This is the medium one. I think it was 350. It's got Disneyland Paris on one side and what was Disney Studios. These are the older bags. So I had to buy this bag because I bought this hoodie. So this is a really nice and thick Disneyland Paris hoodie. And on the front, it's just got the little D symbol. It says Disneyland Paris on the sleeve. And it doesn't have the fleecy lining. It's got like the lining is just like sweatshirt material, like the outside. Well, it's more like t-shirt material. And it's got the pockets on the front. And then here is the back. It's got Sleeping Beauty's castle, and it's got this sort of a mid-century modern look to it. So I really like it. This is going to be a nice warm hoodie. And so this was only 50 euros, whereas one like this at Disney World is probably around $70. And of course, I had to buy some pins. So they had some really nice new Frozen pins in honor of the new land opening. And this one is Anna and Elsa as part of this, like a cuckoo clock. I just thought that was so pretty. And it says World of Frozen. And then we have another Anna and Elsa that looks like a postage stamp. And that's just a really beautiful picture of the two of them. And then I also got this set of 2 pins that are Anna and Elsa coins. And so it looks like this is probably what the money in Arendelle would look like. So I just thought these were fun and a good souvenir of the opening of the World of Frozen. Now, even though this wasn't a part of the World of Frozen, this is a new ride this year at Disney Adventure World, and it's Rapunzel's Tangled Spin. And so it's a lot like the teacups, except that you're in the boat, like the like from the movie. And it was a really pretty ride. They did a really good job on it. And so they had these pins to commemorate it. So I got one of those because I just thought this was a nice, pretty pin. And they had a Scrooge pin. Uncle Scrooge is my favorite. And he's a lot more popular over in Europe than he is in America, because even though we had DuckTales, over there, the Scrooge comic books were and still are very popular over there. So seriously, in like almost every gas station, you'll see collections of the comics. And his name in French is Uncle Picsou, which means sort of like Uncle Tightwad. So you usually see more Scrooge items at Paris than we do in the US parks. So they had this cute pin. And then I got some Disneyland Paris specific pins. Look at this pin. Isn't this pin beautiful? So this is showing you some of the icons of the park. You've got Main Street over on the left, and there's it looks like Big Thunder Mountain in the background, and right in the middle you have Sleeping Beauty's castle, and then on the right you have their version of Space Mountain, Hyperspace Mountain. That's what it is right now. And then this really pretty banner that says Disneyland Paris. I just thought this was a really nice pin. And then I got these 2 sets of character pins that are so French. We have Chip and Dale, or as they are known over there, Tic and Tac, and they're eating croissant. And so that's just really cute. And they're wearing little French caps. And then on this one, we have Mickey and Minnie in their berets. And Mickey has his baguettes, and just Minnie in her striped shirt and her beret. And these were just, they're so cute. They're so French. So I thought they were a good souvenir. And last, we ate at Walt's restaurant, which is a nice restaurant, table service. It's a prefix meal. It was 55 euros per person. And so we had a very nice meal there. And they have these limited edition pins that you can only buy if you're eating there. And so they are limited to 5,000 each. And they were doing a special, I guess because they're trying to get rid of them for new pins. They had a special that you could get all 3 of them for only 21 euros. So I got all 3. And so we have a red, a green, and a white. These are just a nice souvenir since you can only buy them if you're eating at the restaurant. So that's the end of our France shopping haul. If you enjoyed this video, if you could please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. We're going to be putting up some videos of some of the places that we visited this time, some World War I sites and Paleolithic site, the Roc de Cazel. And so I hope you stick around for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!